Hey, what's up guys? It's Ryan with RG Tech. I hope you guys are all doing well. Today I have a pretty cool review for you, the Zotac GTX 1080 Ti Amp Edition. So yeah, the GTX 1080 Ti Amp Edition by Zotac. Pretty cool card. Pretty beefy. We all know the specs of the GTX 1080 Ti now, featuring the GP102 core. Really fast card. It goes toe to toe with just about anything else in the market. Outperforms everything at about a 250 watt TDP. So pretty hefty on the TDP, but in all reality, for a high-end card, I'd expect no less. So with that said, let's get into taking apart the card. I'm really interested to see what makes the VRM tick. Specifically, I'll give you a little preview here. Specifically, right here is where you're gonna see a VRM heatsink there that kind of piqued my curiosity. Then you also see the two headers for two 8-pin connectors. Going around the card here, you'll see that there is one DVI-D, one HDMI 2.0 display port, and another display port with some ventilation. Moving into the front of the card, there is 200mm fans. This is part of their freeze tech technology, where the fans don't spin up until they're actually needed. So at idle, they are idle. They're not spinning at all. Pretty cool technology. They do get a little louder at the full RPM range, but at idle it is completely silent. So until you need that extra cooling, freeze tech will take care of you. So moving around over here, with that focus in, you see the headers, nice beefy heat sinks in there, and then the back side is a nice metal back plate. So then also take notice of the two power boost modules. Focus in here. Those are supposed to aid in stabler overclocks to maintain your clock speeds higher. So we'll get to testing on that. We are going to test a few games. I'm not going to test 24 games like Hardware Unboxed does or any other channel. I'm going to basically test a few games just to put under load. I'm just interested to see how hot it actually gets, how loud it gets. Then we're going to take it apart and see how this really ticks. I'm interested to see this VRM design, how it actually connects onto the PCB or the memory chips themselves. I'm interested in seeing the cooling capacity of this cooler itself. Being that it's not a 2.5 slot design, it's a traditional 2-slot design, it's not the biggest 1080 Ti cooler that's out there. So without further ado, let's get cracking. All right, let's get started on taking apart this beast. I'm gonna flip the card around here and take off these 4 screws here that hold the GP102 core. Alright, so right here you have the GP102 core, which houses the GTX 1080 Ti core. Surrounding the core is going to be the GDDR5X memory with 1 module missing. So this is pretty much loosely based off of the Titan XP, big P, little p, the latest P module that actually was released. This is a different PCB design than that of the NVIDIA reference design, or Founders Edition. Right up here, you'll see the 2 SLI fingers. Over here, you'll see 2 memory controller phases, so for more conditioning for memory overclocking. And then right over here in this AIO silver, you'll see 14 phases that is providing very good voltage control to the GPU 102 core itself. Over here, it's the VRMs, which has a nice black anodized aluminum heatsink on it, and then followed by another VRM heatsink over here with 2 more capacitors as well too, and then 3 more capacitors right here for the low line conditioning as far as coming in from the power supply. So all in all, this is impressive and to say the least as far as the power delivery on this specific card. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna take out the back plate, take off the cooler here. I want to look at the cooler and see what kind of other things we have to go on this. So, all right. right here on the PCB is actually cooled right here. which makes direct contact with a thermal pad. With a thermal pad right here, 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 and here. These are the memory modules here, and this is the memory VRM. So in terms of fin design, it is a pretty decent stack out of fins. Pretty much same heat pin orientation as you normally would expect, or heat pipe normal orientation. 200mm fans that have the FreezeTech technology. Pretty, well, I would say basic cooler, but the only thing I would knock the cooler on is these ketchup and mustard cables that are coming out from here. And today, attention to detail is everything, so that's the only thing I can knock this card on. But as far as the cooler goes, it's a pretty traditional base plate with fin stack on top of it. So pretty cool. I'm gonna go ahead and put this together now, and we'll get back to it. All right, there you have it. The Zotac GTX 1080 Ti Amp Edition. Great card, great cooler on it. It's right up there with the big boys. So if you like this video, go ahead and give it a like. If not, then go ahead and give it a dislike. Please consider subscribing if you haven't done so already. It helps me out massively. All right, guys, catch you guys in the next one.